Donald Trump has reacted to the whole Roseanne Barr story and how her show has gotten canceled. He says the following, graphic 30, Bob Iger of ABC called Valerie Jarrett to let her know that ABC does not tolerate comments like those made by Roseanne Barr. Gee, he never called President Donald J. Trump to apologize for the horrible statements made and said about me on ABC. Maybe I just didn't get the call.
All right, so this is typical Trump. First of all,
I like that he used his middle initial.
I know. Can you imagine if I was like,
Anahit M. Kasparian.
Yes, and I can't believe what you've said about Cenk K. Uygur. What a weirdo. So let's note a couple of things for the record. One, he did not tweet about the things that Roseanne Barr actually said. Calling Valerie Jarrett an ape, not an issue, not worth his time, not bothering to tweet about that. Number two, he says Iger is friends with Jarrett. That part is true, okay? And I think that did play a big part in this. Number three, he thinks, well, insulting anyone gets you fired from TV apparently. No, that's not how it works. She wasn't fired for insulting Valerie Jarrett. She was fired for saying racist things about black people. And you can't be racist against orange people. When people say things about you, it isn't because you're orange, it's because you're Donald J. Trump. And you get to criticize, first of all, anyone in the country, let alone the president of the United States who's a politician. So you're conflating two things. You might think he's doing it on purpose to trick his followers. No, I think he doesn't know the difference. Like it didn't occur to him, hey, that's racist, that's about a whole group of people, and this is just about me, and I'm a politician. No, he just thought, not fair, not fair. You're fired her for criticizing Valerie, not for me, right? Because he's a child.
If he had unmitigated power, it would be a criminal offense to say anything negative about him.
No question about it. But here's my favorite part of the story. Sarah Huckabee Sanders on Tuesday, before Donald Trump tweeted, said, that's not what the president's looking at when asked about this issue. That's not what he's spending his time on. Oops. And I think that we have a lot bigger things going on in the country right now. Oops. Certainly that the president is spending his time when it comes to policy. Oops.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You don't know Trump? You don't know that he's going to be obsessed about a drama around celebrities and TV? And that he is invariably going to tweet about it? Sarah Huckabee Sanders, this might be the largest mistake you ever made.
Oh, please. No, and no one cares. No one cares. She can go up there and say whatever she wants. If you criticize her, you're a terrible person.
And by the way, against women.
Yeah.
So, but somebody should just play her comments back to her and go, do you now agree, given that the president did spend his time on that issue rather than policy, that the president thinks that it's more important? You said it wasn't. You said he wouldn't spend his time on it because it's not as important as policy. Do you now agree, obviously, that the president thinks it's more important than policy issues like North Korea or other massive issues that he's got to concern himself with? Do you agree that the president is a child and when he sees something shiny on TV, he can't help but tweet about it? Come on, I can't believe she'd make that mistake. Oh, the president would never stoop to talking about Roseanne Barr. Have you met the president?